Hello, entrepreneur. Let's talk about the many lessons left by the first black woman entrepreneur to become a millionaire in the USA. The many lessons left by the first black woman entrepreneur to become a millionaire in the USA. Madam C.J. Walker was born Sarah Breedlove on a cotton plantation in Louisiana, USA, in 1867. Her parents were slaves, and she was the first of 6 siblings to be born free after slavery was abolished in the country. She lost her mother at 4, became an orphan at 7, and went to live with her sister and brother-in-law in Mississippi. She attended school for only 3 months, worked in the fields, and washed clothes. To escape the mistreatment from her brother-in-law, she married at 14 and had her only daughter at 18. After her husband's death, she moved with her daughter to St. Louis, Missouri, where 3 of her brothers, who were barbers, lived. She married 2 more times, the last time to Charles Joseph Walker, a newspaper advertising salesman. Strong and determined, she fought for women's rights both at home and in her community, which was far from the norm of the time. This attitude led her to become known as Madam C.J. Walker. As a laundress, she earned just over $1 a day. During a fair in her town, she met a businesswoman who made hair care products and began working as a reseller of her products. This marked the beginning of a journey that led her to become the first female millionaire in the United States, according to the Guinness World Records. With the knowledge she gained from her brothers, her work as a laundress, and the products she sold, Madam C.J. Walker created her own line of cosmetics and built an empire with products for Afro hair. By the time she passed away in 1919, she had amassed a fortune estimated at over $1 million. To this day, she is honored by major cosmetic stores and department stores in the United States. Her story has been told in a book and inspired the 4-episode miniseries Self-Made: The Life and Story of Madam C.J. Walker, available on Netflix. Below are some of the lessons she left as an entrepreneur. Don't be discouraged by difficulties. Being a black woman entrepreneur at that time was already a challenge that seemed insurmountable, but not for Madam C.J. Walker. With no resources to manufacture her products, she ran from place to place looking for investors, and all of them, without exception, refused to finance a business run by a black woman. She heard many no's, suffered from each one, but would get up and look for backers the next day. She faced difficulties even within her own family and did not give up, not even when the kitchen in her house, where she began producing her own products, caught fire. In 1910, she opened her own factory, the Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company, and began selling her products across the United States. Have a purpose. From the beginning, Madam C.J. Walker was clear that she wanted to start a beauty business with products accessible to all women. At that time, water was scarce in the homes of the poor, and there were no suitable products for black women's hair. Because of this, along with illnesses and poor diets, many faced severe hair problems. Madam was one of them and at one point was nearly bald. After treating herself, she made it her motivation to create a business that would benefit many other women. Believe in what we have already learned. Working in laundries, amid soaps, hot water, heat, and steam, Madam C.J. Walker learned about the chemical ingredients in cleaning products and some basic principles that she applied to her business. She developed, for example, what she called the Walker method, a hair treatment process that involved more frequent washes, the use of hair cream, and brushing with heated metal combs, the forerunners of modern electric straighteners. Occupy every space. At the time she began her entrepreneurial journey, women were excluded from spaces where business was discussed, even within the black community. She fought to gain access to some of these spaces, and in search of funding, she attended the National Negro Business League convention. During the event, women would gather in the kitchen. She was one of the first to break this barrier and sit at the table during the convention. Have a good pitch. Pitching is a technique for a quick, concise, and engaging presentation used by entrepreneurs to capture the interest of investors and customers. Madam knew how to use this resource like no other. In the spaces she managed to enter, she would, in just a few minutes, tell what she was seeking, the purpose, goals, and unique aspects of her business, as well as the results it could generate. Empower others so they can grow along with you. The entrepreneur believed that black women should become independent and self-sufficient so they could improve their lives. She dedicated herself to helping them do just that. While selling her products door to door, she taught other women how to become entrepreneurs. It is estimated that at the peak of her business, she had trained over 20,000 women in sales techniques, empowering them to become role models in their communities. Have a cause. In addition to being a staunch advocate of female empowerment and entrepreneurship, Madam C.J. Walker used her voice to fight against violence towards black people. Between 1877 and 1950, more than 4,000 men and women, mostly black, were lynched in the United States, according to the Equal Justice Initiative, a social organization working to end mass incarceration, excessive punishment, and racial inequality in the country. Ending lynching was one of the issues she highlighted in her circles to discuss the injustice against black people, especially women. Give to help society develop. Throughout her life, Madam devoted part of her fortune to philanthropic actions. She donated resources to social institutions and schools and supported the creation of organizations that advocated for the causes and strengthening of the African American community. She helped build schools for young black people, one of which became Bethune-Cookman University, helped construct the YMCA in Indianapolis, and built housing for the elderly, among many other initiatives. Leave a legacy. Even after her death at 51, she continued to contribute to social causes. The 1,900 square meter, 34-room mansion she built in New York, next to the residence of magnate John Rockefeller and designed by the first black architect in the United States, was transformed into a meeting and training place for black entrepreneurs. That was today's video, Entrepreneurs. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, share with a friend who will be interested in the subject, give the video a like, and a big hug.